Welcome to you all again. Another year, 2018, the first year of the women's vote. So we'll try and remember that later on. I did send invitations through the chair of the council, and I did get an answer back that he himself, Bobby O'Sullivan, couldn't make it, but we have Councillor McCarthy here, obviously. I see Liam Sullivan always supporting us there from Cobh Community for Change, and the relatives of the volunteers in Cobh. So to start the proceedings, we have members of the Commodore Male Voice Choir, including myself, to begin with the national anthem. Please. Can I ask Aidan, we ask you to stand please for the minute, sorry. This year has been 100 years since women winning of a vote in Ireland, albeit at the time it was only a few. We said we'd change this year and we would ask the women to read the proclamation, so we asked Saoirse McCarthy to come and read the proclamation.
Proclamation of Public Hearing, Provisional Government of the Irish Republic to the people of Ireland. Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and the dead generations from which we received our own tradition of nationhood, Ireland through us summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisation, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army, having patiently perfected the discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes the moment, and supported by her exiled children to America and by gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes the full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland, the ownership of Ireland, and the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and peaceful. The long assertion of that right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can ever be extinguished, except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it in arms. Standing on the fundamental right and again asserting it in arms and in the face of the world, we hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign independent state. We pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare and of its excellence among the nations. The Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irishman and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities to all its citizens, and it declares resolved to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and all its parts, cherishing all the children of the nation equally, and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by alien governments. We have divided the minority from the majority in the past. Instead, our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the whole people of Ireland, and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women. The provisional government hereby constituted will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust to the people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the most highest law, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves that cause be dishonoured by cowardice, inhumanity, or rapine. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children, sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf of the provisional government, Thomas J. Clark, Sean McDermott, Thomas McDonough, Padraig Pearse, Eamon Kent, James Conley, and Joseph Plunkett.
I left a few important people out there at the beginning. Obviously, the residents in Westview, not County Council, the youth out there in the garden. And of course, my own members in the choir for the last few years, supporting us. Long may it last. Now, can I ask Councillor Chair McCarthy to say a few words, please? Thank you. You step up,
Following account of what took place here in Cobh on Easter weekend comes from the words directly from the volunteers themselves through the witness statements made to the Bureau of Military History in later years and through newspaper reports of the day. The final arrangements for the rising amongst the Cobh Company of the Irish Volunteers took place on Holy Thursday when local commander Captain McLeahy and his second in command, Seamus Fitzgerald, met with the brigade leader, Tomas McCurtain, at his black public home in Cork. It is not clear of the full extent of the orders that were given to the Cobh officers or how much they were privy to the overall rebellion plans for the Southern Volunteers. But it is clear from the events of the following days that Leahy and Fitzgerald had their local company primed and ready for action by Easter Saturday. All the volunteers were under instructions to report for duty at the town reservoir on the Clay Road at 1 p.m. on Saturday, with all available weapons, ammunition and equipment. Early on Saturday morning, while in town, McLeahy bumped into local harbour pilot Michael Walsh, who informed him that strange naval activity had taken place outside the harbour in the previous early hours, where an unidentified ship had gone down. Neither Walsh nor Leahy seemed to appreciate the significance of this news, that the ship they spoke about, and which went to the bottom with its full cargo of weapons, was the very one that the volunteers had planned to meet up with off the Kerry coast, thus providing an arsenal that was meant to supply volunteer units all over Munster and up the western counties to feed the rebellion there. Although McLeahy hadn't yet grasped the seriousness of the situation, he did feel it important enough to mention it to McCurtain about the sunken ship when he reached Cork later that day. At the appointed time of 1 o'clock, Leahy called his company to fall in on parade at the Clay Road reservoir side. Those in attendance were Mick Leahy, Seamus Fitzgerald, Paddy Whelan, Jack Stack, Joe Reid, Ernie Fowler, James O'Connell, William O'Regan, Danny Healy, William Ralph, and Bunny Reid. The parade was also told that Liam Ahern and Jack O'Connell would follow along later on bicycles. Seamus Fitzgerald then proceeded to tally all weapons and ammunition. Present were 5 big Enfield rifles, 1 Martini rifle with 250 rounds of 303 ammunition, 15 revolvers of 32, 38 and 45 caliber, with 180 rounds of corresponding ammunition and 5 bayonets. There were no shotguns or pikes or explosives. There were no complete volunteer uniforms, but most present had breeches and leggings. All had haversacks, belts, bandoliers, round sheets, water bottles, blankets, spare socks, and green volunteer slouch hats. The small but disciplined company of co-volunteers then set off on foot on their journey to Cork City. When Lee and his men reached Little Island on the main road, a single mounted REC officer on horseback was waiting for them and later trailed behind them on the rest of the journey to Cork City. When they arrived at the volunteer hall on Shear Street, the Cobh company were told they would be taking over guard duty that night. Volunteer Paddy Whelan was one of those posted on guard outside the building. He recalled witnessing swarms of REC men passing by the building from all sides and neighbouring streets, and remembered the tension in the air. He said this was one of the most nerve-wracking experiences he ever had. At one point, Whelan stopped a passing REC man and asked him for a light for an e-cigarette, just to break the ice, knowing they could be locked in armed combat against each other at any hour. Later that evening, the men were instructed to have their confessions heard, again reinforcing their fears and the uncertainty of what lay ahead. The next morning, the men were formed up outside the hall when word came by courier from Dublin. This led to some serious discussion among the senior officers, including McCurtain and McSweeney. This was followed by Seamus Fitzgerald, John O'Connell, William O'Regan and Jack O'Connell joining up with the cyclist company and proceeded to Macroom. The remainder of the Cobh company joined the rest of the city volunteers and marched to Capwell station and took a train to Cookstown. From there they marched on to Kilmurray, where they joined the Ballinadee and other West Cork companies under the command of Tom Hales. Then they marched on to Macroom, where they halted in the square. The weather had now turned foul, and before long the parade was dismissed. We have a copy of the weather with us today again. All the Cobh volunteers returned back to the volunteer hall in the city. It was fast becoming clear that something major had occurred elsewhere. All the city volunteers had left their rifles in the building before returning to their homes, while the Cobh volunteers remained on in the hall until Sunday night. At one stage that McCurtain and McSweeney were considering surrendering the weapons to the RIC. But later the Cobh company volunteers were issued with hurried instructions to start filling sandbags and to get ready for battle stations as they were about to defend the hall. That was followed by a quiet period, and the next day the Cobh volunteers returned home with their weapons, allowing them to escape the agreed handover of arms between the Cork volunteers and the British. There was a lot of confusion in the days which followed, especially when word came through that Dublin had risen. Then one morning while at work at the Naval Dockyard in Halbowlin, Mick Leahy and Seamus Fitzgerald were both arrested for their parts in the attempted rise in Cork. Along with Cobh-based RIB member Liam O'Brien, a UCC student and apprentice working at Wilson's Chemist, West Beach, the three Cobh volunteers were interned in Bangkok in Wales. Leahy and Fitzgerald returned home to a hero's welcome in August of that year, while Liam O'Brien returned to a Dublin hospital where he died in October from a condition he picked up in the internment camp.
Okay, as you know, this garden is specifically to remember the citizens of 1916 to whom we owe so much. These were young men, for the most part, who, given their own individual social standing, could have led comfortable lives, but they chose a different path. They chose to fight for the freedom of Ireland, leading to their eventual illegal execution by British Crown forces in 1916. Sometimes it has been called the Poets' Rising because of the presence of Pearse, Plunkett and their likes. This is too simplistic. It was indeed a cultural revolution. Their inspiration came from the union movement, Conor McGuelga, and other like-minded bodies. The Cobh volunteers themselves claimed the same inspiration. We owe so much in terms of our language, our culture, our music, our Irish identity to these men. For instance, Eamon Camp formed Cúigeara na hÉireann at a time when the Inland Pipe was about to disappear. In spite of 800 years of a calculated attempt by the British to dismantle and bury all vestiges of Irish heritage, it still lives on and thrives today. These people were, of course, an eclectic mix, coming from different ends of the political spectrum. But they were united in one thing: total separation and freedom from Britain, and the formation of a 32-county republic, which we hope is not far away. Events like today are so important in remembering our Irish patriots, both men and women, and their sacrifices. If only the political leaders of today would adopt the proclamation, then what a republic could be achieved. We can help to remember their legacy by supporting the Moore Street campaign. Made my blood boil this morning to see the great and the good with the President and Taoiseach marching to the GPO. What hypocrisy. This same government, in support of a British company, won a case in the Court of Appeal against the 1916 relatives. This will allow for the destruction of the most of Moore Street, destruction of our own Republican heritage. The aim of our own committee is to see this event go from strength to strength, to be adopted by future generations who can be informed of the sacrifices of these great men and women. Agwina Ushla, to the signatories of the proclamation, I say, today we remember you, today we honour you, and we salute you. We owe you so much. Your bravery and your commitment to the freedom of Ireland knew no bounds. Bavana Mara, our son Minter and Cobh, August Godain, our son Minter na Herden. Ni enemy, Diarmid Livriel, Colasova Vocally, Tasha Ferna Ra, Ganakekami, Roar, the Head, Parish. Kuramila, So, we're nearly there. Another weather has been shocking and awful. We hope we can see next year. And we hope we see these kids there in years to come. We will keep this going. And we're all under the sod ourselves. Just a few things to mention. Tomorrow we remember our own fallen heroes out of the Republican plot in the old cemetery. There will be another ceremony at 3 o'clock. And of course everybody is welcome. Before we finish, and we'll get the choir to sing, I want to mention one other thing that I want to put a word out for. As I mentioned earlier, where the inspiration came from. The inspiration of a lot of people in Cobh came from Charles Guilfoyle Doran, one of the great Fenians, second in command of the 1867 rebellion. Therefore works in the cathedral of Cobh here. The 150 years since the turning of the sod on the cathedral, Peter Bailey in the choir here has started up the committee, where he is doing a lot of work, where a stone will be unveiled on the 28th and some speeches made for memory of that great man. There is a book available in the song written by Sweeney, his history. So I want you to look out for that date on the 28th of April at half just inside the gates of the cathedral. And any help you can give Peter and the committee, please help us do it. Now we'll finish with remembering that man and the inspiration. We said this year we need to start eulogizing these people and remember them in song. So we're going to sing a song by Peter Kearney, who incidentally wrote the national anthem. And I believe it's written in the old style, the Ashton style, if anyone remembers the Ashton Irish history, the Ashton poem speaks to free. They spoke of Shanvan Bucket and Dark Rosaline, where they could not bear to speak of Ireland. So this song is written in that style like that, and it remembers all the Fenians, and it's called Down by the Glen.